I hope you're ready for delicious tropical libations because today we're visiting Pittsburgh's very own Hidden Harbor. Hello and welcome to the Velveteen Lounge Kitchen. We're very excited to be coming to you from Hidden Harbor, the Tiki hotspot that has been welcoming visitors since January 2016 for Tiki with a touch of modern inspiration. Let's order some drinks and look around.
Today we're going to be making the Test Pilot cocktail. So this is a very old 1941 Don the Beachcomber recipe that's, due to its popularity, wound up inspiring a lot of other Polynesian restaurants to follow to add kind of different versions of it on their menu. You wound up with the Jet Pilot, which was a Steve Crane original, the Space Pilot, the Astronaut, but they were all trying to copy off of Don's template. And given that his recipes were such big secrets, it was important for them to try to put a way to, get it on their menu. So I'm going to make this today. This drink is going to go in a double rocks glass. So start off with a half ounce of fresh lime juice. Then we are going to go for a mix of Cointreau and house-made falernum with also one of the Don staples is calling for a dash of Angostura bitters and 6 drops of absinthe, which is kind of an odd combination, but it's like very famous for him because it kind of adds this herbaceous, spicy quality that works with his blend of rums. So speaking of the rums, we're going to go with 3/4 ounces of light rum. And then 1.5 ounces of dark Jamaican rum. So you have your rums, your spice, your fresh juice, and we're gonna give it a good shake. Strain it out. Load it up with a little bit of crushed ice. And then what's really cool about this drink actually is that usually Don's cocktails, since they were kind of before that era of high tiki that was the mid 20th century, you mainly just saw mint. But this kind of oddly calls for a cocktail cherry speared to a wooden oyster fork, which is definitely very unique. And then kind of the icing on the cake is a iced airplane. So this is the 1941 Don the Beachcomber Test Pilot. True classic and big part of the Tiki canon. So now we are going to be making the Shark Bite cocktail. The Shark Bite is actually inspired by another Don the Beachcomber drink called a Shark's Tooth. The Mai Kai in Fort Lauderdale, which is one of those huge temples and kind of like tributes to High Tiki, which is a 600-seat restaurant that runs on 150 employees a night. It's spectacular to go to, but it was kind of part of the Don the Beachcomber family tree where a lot of people came from there and were inspired by his recipes, so they kind of ran with it, and then you have the Shark Bite cocktail, which is served in a really cool mid-20th century kind of garnish / ice cube combination called an ice wave. So it kind of almost resembles like a frozen clamshell or kind of a wave cresting that a surfer would be riding on. So for the Shark Bite cocktail, start again with 1/2 ounce of fresh lime juice, 1/2 ounce of house-made cinnamon syrup, then a 1/2 ounce of fresh squeezed pineapple juice. And then we are going to do 2 bar spoons of maraschino cherry syrup. And then, since some of this booze is actually going in a sidecar on the side, we're only going to do 1 ounce of aged Barbados rum. And once again, give it a good shake. Pop it open, and we strain it out. And then on the side, before we land the drink, one of the cool things about these is it's got a float, So we are going to do Appleton, a little bit of aged Jamaican rum on the side, an ounce. And here we have the Mai Kai Shark Bite cocktail. And it's encouraged to, if you want to sip as you go, you can kind of add it, or you can put the float on the top, which coolly cuts the pineapple and the sweetness from the maraschino cherry. We are actually now going to be moving to another famous kind of fourth grandfather of tiki after Don the Beachcomber and Steve Crane and Trader Vic. His name was Harry Yee. He worked at a place called the Hawaiian Village. He came up with very famous cocktails, one of which is the Tropical Itch, which is served with a bamboo back scratcher in a glass like this. Very famous for actually first starting to use fresh orchids as garnishes for tiki drinks. And also kind of having these very blown out, kind of elaborate, also is the first to use paper parasols and garnishes for tiki drinks. So we're gonna be making the Blue Hawaii. So we're gonna start with 3/4 ounces of fresh lemon juice, then a 1/2 ounce of 1:1 simple syrup, and 3/4 ounces of blue curacao. I'm gonna do 2 ounces of fresh pressed pineapple juice. And then this has a very kind of interesting split base of 1 ounce of light rum. And then 1 ounce of vodka. And then instead of shaking this cocktail, we decided the best way to kind of incorporate all these flavors is to actually swizzle it. So get your ice in this hurricane glass. A little swizzle action. Add a little bit more crushed ice to fill. And then this is kind of when the real fun starts. So kind of start with the straw. Nice long straw in there. I'm gonna do nice fresh orchid. Harry Yee special. I'm gonna do an inverted paper parasol. And we are going to do a fresh pineapple chunk, perched right on the side. And then our kind of little touch here at Hidden Harbor is to use the blue gummy dolphin. So put that right in there, and you have truly a very Harry Yee drink. Refreshing, delicious, crisp, but also kind of embodying that total fun kind of escapist idea of tiki.
Along with fabulous cocktails and bites, Hidden Harbor features theme nights such as Tiki Time Machine on Tuesdays and Weird Science Wednesdays with a science-forward take on classic tropical drinks. And rum explorers can sample 20 of their finest rums and be welcomed into the Dead Parrots Society. That's a club I'd love to join. Make sure Hidden Harbor is on your itinerary the next time you're in Pittsburgh. It's worth the trip. Thank you for visiting the Velveteen Lounge Kitchen. Please subscribe to our channel for lovely libations, remarkable road trips, and more. It's always happy hour at the Velveteen Lounge Kitchen.